So, we live? Yeah, we're live. So, anyway, welcome to 2020. So, anyway, today's episode we're going to be doing the rundown of comics I bought before the new year arrived. And I'm also going to talk about this new thing that's been dropped. Let's see. Hot Topic officially announced they are selling Birds of Prey merch. And we're going to take a look at that as well. Might as well. It's a comic book. And I think it's a comic book. It looks more like trash, but anyway. We're also going to talk about the Big Two, who won 2019. And you might be shocked with my response to it. Yeah, I bought some really cool books. It's been a while since I'd done an episode. I realized it was December 27th of 2019. Yeah, so basically, in a funny way, I've been gone for a year. Kind of shocking. So, it's kind of exciting to come back, and I did do a Q&A on Instagram, which kind of sucked, in my opinion. People been asking where I've been. Where did you go? Are you alright? Are you alive? So, I kind of took time off from doing the show. I kind of focused on myself. I done 100 episodes last year. Basically, straight up 100. And yeah, I've been kind of doing a new diet. I've been doing the keto diet. I've been losing some weight, which has been great. You know, kind of been great. And you know, I didn't get to buy comics that much. And so I've been doing other things. I mean, I bought some comics. I bought, you know, when I talked on, I think the 27th episode of December, I mentioned I bought some comics. And I bought some new ones. I bought some DC Black Label. I bought Von Freeze, Last Night on Earth, Book 3. I couldn't find Book 2, which is weird. Oh, it's alright, love. We just kind of kicked off the show and talking a bit. I bought Curse of the White Knight, Book 5, and I will say this. I'm 5 books in of Curse of the White Knight, and I am not enjoying it. I am not enjoying Curse of the White Knight. I love Batman White Knight, the first book. It was brilliant. But I feel like Sean Murphy has kind of gone into Scott Snyder territory. And it, you know, some writers have the ability of going like creating something crazy. Like Scott Snyder kind of basically created, in my opinion, Last Night on Earth, Batman meets Mad Max, which is fucking great. And I love the Bruce and Selena moment where she tells him not to remove the cowl because, you know, and it's really a cool moment. Wonder Woman looks great with a mohawk. They should go with that. But Curse of the White Knight, I have not enjoyed it. I don't enjoy it. It's stupid. It is not a really fun, entertaining book, and it's basically like the Nightfall story. It kind of reminds me of Nightfall, and I really didn't enjoy Nightfall. I mean, it was a cool moment, you know, with Bane, you know, and this, you know, being the one to break the bat. But Azrael as Batman is fucking atrocious. And I did not enjoy Curse of the White Knight. I read it. Am I going to finish up the series? Yeah, once I get into something, I mean, here's the thing, like, each issues are like a episode of a TV series. There are some good episodes and there's some bad episodes, and I think book 5 is kind of the bad one, in my opinion. And I know a lot of people probably love it for the Joker and Harley thing, and that's the thing that kind of bugged the fuck out of me with it, is the Joker and Harley thing. I am so tired of Joker and Harley, and I know they're prepping it and hyping it up because of the Birds of Prey abortion of a movie. I know a lot of people are like, man, that's kind of too far to go say that, but it is. Birds of Prey, it looks like an abortion of a film. Is it going to make a lot of money at the box office, like $1 billion? No. It's not going to make $1 billion. It's most likely going to make $300 to $400 million. Because it's a rated R film, and it's not going to, like, have Joker numbers or Deadpool numbers. It's going to be one of those films. It's like, it's a mindless, trash heap of a movie. So that's my opinion of Birds of Prey, and I know a lot of people kind of got triggered over the funny Instagram thing where I put Black Canary, and it's like, who's excited for Birds of Prey? So yeah, I bought that. I started reading Von Fries once I gave up on Curse of the White Knight. I kind of started reading that, and I really like Von Fries, and it's really cool. And again, they make Harley Quinn the Joker's sidekick. After she birthed out twins, she somehow is, sidekick. I bought Batman 85. I don't like the price of the comic. $4.99. This fucking book is $4.99. $4.99. I know they say, like, with the sticker, extra size epic finale, but $4.99. And the thing that bugs me is, I will say this. I know a lot of people love it for the Batcat moments. Who doesn't? It's great. I love it. But they focus on the story between, and I love that Tom King sort of gave a reference and homage to Batman and Elmer Fudd, which I fucking love that book. I love the Looney Tunes Batman Elmer Fudd. One of my favorites. I love the Selena, the Catwoman and Sylvester and Tweety. I love that too. I have 2 issues. I bought 2 copies of that book. I have the regular cover, and I had the Looney Tunes variant. And I love the Looney Tunes variant one. The variant Looney Tunes cover. I love that. I love that they went back to, like, the Elmer Fudd and, Batman reference. Because Porky Pig is the bartender, Porky's Pub. But the thing that bugged me about it was, with this book, is that they went and, like, they did the Batman Catwoman showdown with Thomas. It didn't focus on the action. Instead, it focused on the football game, which bugged me. Like, I wanted to see Batman overcome the battle with his father, Thomas. I wanted to see that. Instead, they went, like, back and forth, like, they talk about it, then they jump back to the bar, the football game. Then they, it's like, Tom King was kind of like, here's the thing, like, Tom King is a good writer. I mean, is he an atrocious bad writer like Brian Michael Bendis? No. I mean, it's more of insulting to Tom King than anything by comparing him to Brian Bendis. He tries to be Alan Moore when he's better off being Stan Lee type, by writing upbeat stories and stuff. And I really like Tom King's upbeat stories. I want I want Batcat to finally get married. I think they will. I'm gonna talk about that later in the episode. Anyway, it kind of bugged me when when he kept jumping back and forth and stuff. And the thing is, Tom King is, in my opinion, he's better off working with another writer instead of working on something solo at times. I mean, here's the thing. His Mr. Miracle book was really good. If you've never read Mr. Miracle comics in your life, then try that one. I bought three back issue books at Half Price Books. I bought a hardcover book, which I'm going to talk about. Let's see, Batman Legends of the Dark Knight 150. I really like this book. You kind of get to see Bruce become the father figure, the father type character in it, which I really enjoyed, because it was pretty funny though. I think it doesn't say which Robin. I'm going to make a wild assumption by saying it's Jason Todd. Not Jason, but Tim Drake. I'm going to make a wild accusation by saying it's Tim Drake. Tim sneaks out of Wayne Manor in his Robin costume, and he sneaks back into the house, and there is Bruce standing there waiting for him, going like, "Where have you been?" That made me laugh, because I was just thinking like, shit, that is funny, and it is very funny of Bruce to do that. And Tim's like, "I wasn't that far," and Bruce kind of knows when he's lying. So anyway, one of the issues I bought when I bought the Batman 85 was Catwoman 13. I know the new Catwoman book was supposed to be out. Couldn't find it. And I didn't have Catwoman 13, so I ended up buying that one to add to the Catwoman collection. Detective Comics 628 and 584. I had a hard time reading 584, knowing it, because some jackass decided to write a circle on the with a Sharpie on the cover, covering up the numbers, and people who do that deserve to get pimp slapped a good one. So finally, the hardcover book I bought is Tales of Batman, Alan Burnett. I really love this book. I love Alan Burnett's run on Batman. I think he is a solid Batman writer. And I love the cover of it because it has Catwoman, Batman, and Scarecrow. It's a good cover. Excellent cover, in my opinion. I found it was like a really cool book when I found it. It is still a cool book. I have some of the stories he wrote, I think I have in the Best of Batman stories. And I love Alan Burnett's run because Alan Burnett took risks. Now we're going to get into this subject. I felt like DC in 2019 did not do great things in 2019. And when you're a writer and stuff, you take risks. You do something that is ballsy. Balls World War Z. You do things ballsy in storytelling. DC did not do anything that is memorable in 2019. Nothing memorable at all. And that bugged the fuck out of me. The thing about this year of 2019 with DC is that they fell off the wagon. They fell off the wagon of storytelling. Nothing's memorable. Like, they're supposed to make, like, they made this whole Brian Bendis thing so great. Brian Bendis, and mind you, I am not a Superman fan. I am not a diehard Superman fan. I'm more of a Batman fan than anything. Brian Bendis fucking ruined Superman for everybody. And I'm going to take a quote from Wrestling with Regret, Brian Zane. This year of Superman was the year of cuckolding of Superman. And I know a lot of people are like, whoa, that is just... But here's the thing. Brian Bendis cuckolded Clark Kent throughout the entire fucking year of Superman. And I get the feeling that Brian Bendis did not read anything that was written of Superman before he jumped on board with DC. And Dan Didio is not a genius. He's not a genius. He is a terrible editor for DC. And it's time that they should make changes. Give Jim Lee the shot to be the editor for DC. Or, the big or, get the guy who created Deadpool. I forget his name. Shit, I always forget that poor guy's name. He's really one of the nicest dudes on Twitter. Like the way he's very knowledgeable, and I love people who share their knowledge of their field of expertise. Rob Liefeld. They should get Rob Liefeld to run DC. I mean, he talked about it a lot. With DC. He put DC and Sean Murphy in their place. And Rob Liefeld is a brilliant writer. He's a brilliant, creator, artist. And he always talks about like how DC's not doing things correctly. They're doing the same trends over and over, and he has a point to it. You look at Superman. Superman reveals his secret identity to the world. To the point from Superman Truth was the title of it for New 52 when they revealed Superman's identity. And when Brian Bendis was like, we're going to do it. We're going to get Superman to come out. He's going to come out and admit who he is. Which basically Bendis was like, I can't wait to write a coming out story. It's going to be with Superman. I'm going to top it the way I did with Iceman. Which was fucking dumb. I feel like Bendis is one of those guys who he needs to go away. But he uses the same title for Superman's revealing his coming out story. Superman Truth. Even though he did not know that DC already did this and used the same title. He's a genius. And the thing that bugged me was, I love how, spoiler alert for Batman 85, the ending of the story shows the Joker with Joker's goon showing him a story on his phone of Superman revealing his identity as Clark Kent. and I hope that James Tynion IV just destroys Bendis on the stupidity that he has done with Superman. Because here's the thing, like, he reveals his secret identity, that he's Clark Kent. Bendis does not realize that, oh, Superman is married, he has a son, he has friends, and he has colleagues at a workplace. Clark Kent just fucked over his entire friends, revealing his secret identity. But Bendis does not care. Bendis writes Lois Lane as a bitch throughout this entire fucking story of Superman. Lois Lane, who lets the crazy, kooky grandfather, Jor-El, don't know how the fuck he's alive, but they reveal it that Dr. Manhattan pulled him out when the Krypton was about to blow up. Leaves the mom for dead. What about the mom? Oh, fuck her, who cares? He leaves her for dead. So he brings the father, the father has a staff, and the father sees the true horror of the world. How bad the world is. Show the Nazis. Of course, you have to, because it's Brian Bendis pandering to people. Nazis are bad, which they are. We're going to show the entire atrocity of how fucked up this world is by making Jor-El regret that he sent his son, Superman, to Earth. Superman breaks the staff. And Jor-El, going from kooky, crazy, evil guy to disappearing. Then he comes back. He goes, I'm going to take your son, my grandson. And Lois is like, oh, we're for it. With John, who was like... And the thing is, like, when Peter J. Tomasi wrote Superman, which Tomasi was fucking brilliant, he made John a sweet, loving kid who looks up to his father and admires everything that his father did. His father is his hero. To making John like this rebellious asshole of a kid. To like, I'm going to go with grandfather, and it's like throughout the whole story, it makes you think that Brian Bendis does not know logic. You would think like John would be like, oh hell no, I'm not going with you, you fucking creep. Yeah, he ruined everything. So Lois, who is like apparently like reality escaped her mind, apparently, is like, you could go with him without even consulting Clark, who is in the fucking room with them. Apparently you can't consult with Clark because fuck Clark, we need Superman. Apparently she does not consult with him, like, you need to listen to your father. He said no, we're not going to let you go. And everything that Clark says, Lois is like, come on, we're going to take you with him. And Lois goes into this fucking ship with Jor-El and takes off, leaving Clark alone. Because Lois wants to write it for a book. What book? The bitch has been writing a book for 80 fucking years and has not released anything. So, as you can tell, I am not a big fan of Superman. And everybody's like, going like, in the story, Lois left Clark. They bring it up every damn time. They bring it up. Did Lois leave you? And it's like, and they made Clark this pushover cuck of a character. Not giving no shit about him. Because who needs Clark Kent? Who needs Clark? It reminded me of Superman Returns. And I hated that movie. I mean, you could drive trucks through the plot holes of that film. And like, I even predicted the ending of it. Right in the middle of the movie. Superman's gonna die. And, Lois is gonna show up with John. I guess John. I forget the kid's name. Who cares? Shows up with the kid with the long hair. who needs to cut his long hair, who plays the piano, and says to him, "You're not alone. You have a son." Apparently, they did this movie the sequel. And if the thing that bothered me was like, why didn't Lois just show me like, "When did you impregnate me, Superman?" Because it's a sequel to Superman 2 where Superman and Lois, Clark gives up his powers of Superman because he wants to bang Lois in the fortress. And they do it. Then they go to the diner. He gets the shit kicked out of him. Then at the end, Superman gets his powers back. Then he kisses Lois, who apparently forgets everything that happened in this entire movie. They don't even bring it up in Superman 3 when she appears at the end. Because apparently the writers of Superman 3 totally forgot that Lois and Clark were in a relationship. In Superman 4, I totally forgot what that movie was about. But anyway, so in Bendis' stupid-ass Superman story, Lois returns without telling Clark. So apparently the term secret identity does not mean anything to Bendis. So Clark finds out that Lois has returned. So he shows up as Superman, kisses Lois in front of everybody. Because apparently secret identity does not mean shit. So he kisses Lois in front of everybody. Everybody's taking photos like, "Oh shit. Lois Lane just cheated on her husband Clark with Superman." So in this story, that's what happens. And Lois gets a package from Lex Luthor, who apparently is dead. I didn't get the memo with that one. So, and she opens it. She doesn't think, "Oh shit, Lex Luthor, who is my husband's arch enemy, sends a package to me. I'm gonna fucking open it." She opens the package. I totally forgot what happened to that one. So, next thing you know, you find out Lois tells her dad that she's in love with Superman. That Superman impregnated her. And her son is Superman's son, not Clark Kent, who apparently are two different fucking people. To Lois's eyes. I'm getting a headache just by telling this story. So, and it's revealed that Lois wrote an article on outing her husband as Superman. Then she encourages him to reveal his secret identity so he doesn't have to hold secrets like his father. Because instead, in Bendis' eyes of Jor-El is a warmonger instead of a brilliant scientist. So I'm done. This is the entire Bendis Superman. Fuck Bendis. In his entire Superman run, I wish they would just shit can him in his entire stories and be done. I got a headache. So I'm glad he's not writing Batman, because shit, I would fucking flip and just, fly out to California and find him and punch him a good one in the face. Like Stewie did to that like what Stewie did to Will Ferrell when he saw Bewitch. So apparently that's what happened in Bendis' story of Superman. And a lot of people wanted me to talk about it, give a rundown, because apparently a lot of people like it when I do this rundown of stories I hate. And the thing is, I'm not the biggest Superman fan. Like I said, I don't really give a shit about Superman. I mean, I know that sounds mean, but reading all this and knowing what's happening, Superman fans deserve better. I mean, I was happy with Peter J. Tamashi's run, and I'll be right back. I'm going to turn on the furnace, because apparently somebody turned up the furnace like hot as hell in this place, so I'll be right back, and I'm going to play this song, so I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. If you hear something in the background, it's called a fan. Because it is like hot as hell in my room, so... Anyway. Let's see the comments. Damn, they ruined everything, huh? Yeah, they ruined everything. I mean, I'm excited for Batman. To be honest, like... Knowing, James Tynion is writing Batman, and I've been reading some of his old work. I have like a good collection of Detective Comics, and I've been reading some of his stuff, and his Batman run, some of his Batman stuff especially, and like I said, like the best comic of 2019 is the Grim Knight. I think the Grim Knight... I have my fingers crossed that they do more with Grim Knight. Like, I would love to see Grim Knight show up in a Batman comic or cameo. And for me, I love the Grim Knight story. I think it's brilliant, an excellent run issue. If you want to read something that's really just out there and insane, read that issue. That is a good issue. And some of the stuff I mean, like, I bought some Detective Comics, like I said in early episodes, because I love, Detective Comics. That is how Batman started. Batman started in Detective Comics, and I love the Batman series, but I love Detective Comics more. So I have a lot on my mind that I kind of want to talk about. So, so I started reading part of Von Freeze, and I don't know what it is. Like, Sean Murphy has sort of like the hit and miss type thing, and I know there's some people who love Sean Murphy's work, and I love White Knight. I love some of his artwork. But the Curse of White Knight is just not that good. So, anyway, so one thing I want to talk about is some movie stuff, especially movie merchandise. Who doesn't love it? I have some Dark Knight Rises stuff, and I love Dark Knight Rises. I talked about that it's, in my opinion, the best film of the decade. I know some people are going to be like, that's just too much to say that, but it is. So, recently, Hot Topic has released some Birds of Prey merch on their website. And we're going to read some of the stuff that they have on Birds of Prey from Hot Topic. So, Recently, they revealed that Doctor Strange 2 is not a horror movie, but introduces new characters. Yawn. One thing that kind of interests me, real quick. We're gonna get to it. We're gonna talk about the Joker film. So anyway, let's see. Hot Topic has over 437 results of Harley Quinn and merchandise. They got the Harley Quinn Birds of Prey Funko Pop, the Harley Quinn Birds of Prey chain choker. Okay. This one shirt kind of... Alright, I'll just read it. The DC Comics Birds of Prey Renee cosplay ringer shirt. I shaved my balls for this. Ha ha ha, very funny. Funko Pop of Black Canary, Harley Quinn. Let's see. The Black Mask Club t-shirt, the Harley Quinn backpack, and the Harley Quinn ugly ass jacket. I don't know who the fuck would wear that. I mean, seriously, who the fuck would wear this jacket? I'm just putting out there. Birds of Prey and Fantabulous Harley Quinn shirt. The Harley Quinn Traveler Cup. I would not carry that anywhere. I'd be embarrassed. The Harley Quinn Birds of Prey Booby Trap t-shirt. Black Canary. Harley and her hyena Bruce. Some of these shirts are just ugly looking. They are just ugly looking shirts. I'm sorry. Glad I bought the Catwoman t-shirt. Catwoman's not in Birds of Prey, but I bought like this cool Catwoman Dark Knight Rises shirt just for fun. Because I need more Catwoman shirts. So, anyway. Alright, we're going to talk about this one. The Joker original ending of the movie The Joker, which received 4 Golden Globe nominations and none for Avengers Endgame. Alright. Kevin Smith revealed the alternative ending for the Joker movie, where the clown prince of crime would kill the would-be Batman, a young Bruce Wayne. Smith revealed an insider told about what the original ending for the Joker was supposed to be on his latest podcast, Fat Man Beyond. So there's this last fucking scene. Somebody, I can't say who told me, somebody fucking told me, because I don't know if this is out there on the internet. Did you hear what the original ending was supposed to be? I hope this is fucking true, man, because I was like, the fuck? Smith recalled. This is what I was told by somebody who works in the business. They were in the know. He's a super smart and great storyteller and shit. Man, he sounds like me when I talk. I don't know where I got it, but it's reliable information. I don't know if he was supposed to share it. I don't know if I'm supposed to share it, but fuck it. It's too fucking... It's too good to not fucking share. So what I'm about to tell you... So I don't want to give up this person, but maybe fucking this is completely wrong, but I fucking hope it's true. I'm sorry. I am just reading this. I'm like, man, this sounds like me when I talk. Smith continued. Originally, the movie was supposed to end with the Joker in that room because I was talking to this person about it. About was talking to this person about, like, I don't know, I think he needed in the hospital. I thought him on the cars, I felt like the end would have been the end of the movie, but insanely triumphant and stuff. So originally the ending was in the hospital different. I don't know if this is true or not. Who knows if it was in the script, but here it goes. Joker kills young Bruce Wayne, who becomes Batman. So he's in the hospital, he laughs and chuckles, and the lady goes, "What's so funny?" The Joker says, I just think of something funny. Smith explains. What was supposed to happen was you flash back to the deaths of Thomas and Martha Wayne, and it was the Joker killing Thomas and Martha Wayne, and the boy is screaming and crying, and he, the Joker, turned to walk away, then turned back and shrugged, and shot the kid in the head. Credits, Smith said. Kevin Smith offered his own reaction to the alternative ending. What the fuck, man? Could you imagine? Literally, this is literally the biggest fuck you to the audience, and it's like, this world has no Batman. It's all fucking Jokers. I was like, the network is fucking deep, man. So fucking intense. I would have been outraged as a Batman fan, and elated as a fan of the film. Ballsy, motherfucker. I don't think that ending would have worked. I think it would have been such a shitty ending, and it just throws away, like, I think honestly it would have been such a shitty ending for that movie, because the movie is Joker. It is a Joker movie. It's not a Batman movie. It's a Joker movie. So what is the point of throwing everything that happens? Sorry, I had to burp. Everything that happens in the movie centered around the Joker, and all of a sudden you have Joker shooting Bruce Wayne in the head. It would have been a dumb ending. It would have been a very... Unless there's like an end credit scene where Bruce is alive and he just has all this anger and hatred inside him to want to kill the Joker. Then that would have been a very crazy ending. But I think it just would have thrown out everything that we all saw in the Joker. It just would have thrown everything out the window. Because it's his movie, his story, not Bruce Wayne Batman's story. I mean, it worked in the 89 Batman film. I don't know if anybody remembers it. Joker kills Thomas and Martha Wayne, then points the gun at Bruce, saying, "You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?" Which scars Bruce for life. You know, the scene, that moment scars Bruce for the entirety of the film. And of course we all know what happens at the end. Joker dies. Everyone says Batman kills Joker, which is totally BS. Gravity and physics killed him. Joker was tied up to the gargoyle, and once it breaks off, it just pulls him down, and boom, he's dead. So Batman technically didn't kill Joker. Gravity did, and gravity's a bitch, so... So, that's what happened. So you can't really say Batman killed Joker. It'd be like saying Batman killed Penguin, which is, again, bullshit. Batman just shot up Penguin's rubber ducky car. That's what happened. So you can't really say Batman kills in Burton's Batman films. That's kind of stupid. Gravity killed Joker just like Penguin crashing his rubber ducky car killed him. So, I mean, it was a very sad ending with Danny DeVito, because he didn't deserve to die. I love Danny DeVito's take on the Penguin. I love Batman Returns. That is like my favorite movie of all times. It's utterly a classic, brilliant film, and I did watch that film a lot during Christmas, and it's a wonderful Christmas film. So I don't know how they don't ever put it in the Christmas film section. They always somehow they put Die Hard in the Christmas film section. It's like, what about Batman Returns? You know, so anyway. We're going to take a look at another we're going to take a look at another news article stories. Let's see what Twitter says. Welcome back. Finally a new show. Yeah. I kind of been away, so I did buy a lot of cool stuff. So did you read Miller's new Batman comic? It was funny though, yesterday I was like looking at it on the shelf and I just didn't really have interest in buying it. I know my uncle who reads comics bought it and he really liked it. I didn't read it. I did flip through the pages. I just thought like yeah. That's kind of how I reacted to it. I don't get the point of like calling it Dark Knight Returns because it's not really a Batman comic. Batman's not really in it. It's just mainly Batwoman, Carrie Kelly, who becomes, you know, Batwoman. She was Batgirl. It's weird though because it's really weird how they redesigned it. Like, if I remember correctly, Carrie Kelly wears the Batgirl costume, which is like pink and green costume, which I am not making that up. I always wonder if like Frank Miller was colorblind. I always wonder that because that is like the bright ass costume, like pink and green. Everyone always criticizes Robin's costume. It's like, no, look at Carrie Kelly Batgirl. Because it's really funny though, because it's like in Dark Knight Strikes Again, which everybody always shits on it, like everybody always criticizes it. I actually have like a soft spot in my heart for that comic because I like it. You know, Miller kind of has fun with it and does crazy stuff. Carrie Kelly was originally she was Robin, then in Dark Knight Strikes Again, she becomes Catgirl. Then she becomes Batgirl. Now she's Batwoman. So, the evolution of the character is really interesting. But, you know, it's insane. But I like the design of Batwoman in Miller's universe because she has this, instead of like the cape, she has like a long trench coat. And wearing like the bat suit but with a trench coat, which is kind of a cool look to it. I'm surprised they never done that with a Batman comic. Did they do it with Gotham by Gaslight? I don't remember. But anyway, it was a really cool design, and I really didn't have any interest in reading it because, again, like one thing I'm avoiding in 2020 is politics. And that book has a lot of political messages, and Trump works for Joker and Darkseid, and it's like I really don't fucking care. I don't feel like reading it. And that's the thing that's been bothering me with like Marvel. And oddly enough, Marvel kind of won 2019. Oddly enough, the end of 2019, because they are. I don't know what they're doing, but I feel like they're sort of trying to go back to like telling stories instead of just pandering to one side that's completely a ghost There's no audience. It's just a shadow of an audience that you're pandering to instead of comic book readers. And DC is, going like, well, if they're ignoring the shadow audience, we're going to go pander to that. And that's what bothers me. It's like, I feel like DC's just... I feel like they are in the Brian Bendis world. There is no sense of reality or sense of common sense around. So they're trying to like pander to this audience that A, is on Tumblr, B, they bitch about how they don't have no representation of comics, C, when they finally do, they don't fucking buy it. And I feel like that's what they're doing, and it's like that's what Marvel's now going to do in their films. Kevin Feige confirms a transgender character will appear in an MCU film that is currently shooting. Again, you're pandering to an audience that doesn't care about your movies and stuff. So, one thing I want to read that is very interesting, and this involves, if my computer works, Terry. I love Terry Gilliam's work. For those who don't know who he is, he's the guy who is part of Monty Python. And he also directed good films, by the way. One of the films he did in fact direct, is the final movie of Heath Ledger's. I forget the name of it. Dr. Parnassus, I think it is. So anyway, Terry Gilliam talked about Panther. And he makes a lot of points. Here's what he states. Monty Python director, Terry Gilliam, Panther. I hated Black Panther. It makes me crazy. I love that, just the way it says. Famed Monty Python director Terry Gilliam recently discussed his hatred for Marvel Studios' Black Panther in a recent interview with IndieWire. Gilliam explains why he hates the film. I hated Black Panther. It makes me crazy. It gives young kids the idea that there's something to believe in. Bullshit. Utter bullshit. I love how he's just like blunt in this. Gilliam added, I think the people who made it had never been to Africa. They went and got some stylists for some African patterns and fabrics and things. He continues, but I just hated the movie. Partly because the media were going on about the importance of bullshit. According to IndieWire's person, Gilliam would be asked if he felt the critical praise of Black Panther was politically correct. Response that ignored aesthetic in the favor of identity politics. Gilliam responds by saying, "If boil." The conversation would apparently transition to Gilliam's comments he made during onset of the Weinstein scandal. We are in the era of victims. We're all victims. It's all about somebody else abusing us, taking advantage of us. We are powerless except that we go out and do other things. Similar to Martin Scorsese and Francis Ford Coppola's criticism of Marvel films, Gilliam would express his dislikes for their dominating at the box office. I think the fact they're dominating the place so much is they're taking all the money that should be available to greater variety of films. However, he did describe the films as are brilliant in technical standing points. Technically, they're brilliant. I can't fault him because the technical skills involved in making them are incredible. He also added, if you are that powerful, you should be dealing with reality a bit more. And he's right about that. And click off that. And he's right about that. When you look at the Dark Knight trilogy, I always go back to Dark Knight trilogy, And when you look at the DCEU, they sort of did, at the beginning of DCEU, they did the reality things of storytelling. When you look at the Dark Knight trilogy, they are grounded in realism, reality-based stuff, which is great, which is, in my opinion, brilliant storytelling. That's the thing that I sort of miss, is the reality of storytelling of superhero films. And when you look at Man of Steel, or hell, when you look at Brightburn, Man of Steel tells the story of, if someone had so much power in the world, like Superman, we would all be scared of it. We would all be scared, like, oh shit, like somebody has so much power to fly, super strength, speed, heat vision, all these things. And it's a great storytelling of like, how would the world react to it? Would we welcome them, or would we be afraid of them? I would go with the latter. We'd be scared and prepared to fight back. That's how it is. Marvel film sort of throws the... I know a lot of people are like, well, it's a comic book film. It's about comic books. It's fantasy telling. It's like, you could do that, but you can also add some reality storytelling. You can add some reality of realism to it. Like Iron Man was, in my opinion, the closest thing to reality storytelling. Because someone made a Iron Man suit. Hell, Barack Obama, when he was president, said, we are going to make the Iron Man suit. And at my point, I was just like, that is brilliant. I'd be like, I would take it, but I'd rather have the bat suit. I like the bat. Like, if I saw, like, an Iron Man suit, I'd be like, does it come in black? Alright, the head, add a little, bat ear, add the ears to it, pointing, Don't have it, out, just have it curve in, like, because it kind of makes it look cool, and, that's what I'd do. Yeah, but that is the thing about it. Like, I wish they would do... I wish they would do another Batman. I know they're going to do another Batman film, but I look forward to seeing what they're going to do. I kind of want another Nolan Batman films, just for some odd reason. I don't know, I've been sort of on a kick because TNT is playing like a non-stop... They've like been on a non-stop playing Batman films, which I love. Like, they've been doing it for like all through Christmas. It's like, fuck Christmas films, we are playing Batman. That's what they've been doing, which is so great. Like, on my birthday, they were playing like 24/7 Batman. Yeah, Batman Begins, Dark Knight Rises, Wonder Woman, who cares? Back to Batman. Like, that's what they've been doing. I was just like, this is brilliant. This is wonderful. So, yeah, it's been kind of crazy. But, it's kind of fun. Let's see what the other questions are. Did you watch Harley Quinn show? Yeah, I did. I did watch the new Harley Quinn show. I look forward to the new episode. I found like the one thing that kind of bothered me a bit with Harley Quinn is like the joke she keeps saying to Batman, the dude who fucks bats. It's like, it's kind of annoying now. Like, I wish they would come up with like, new insults or something. I don't know, but I really like the show. I wish they would do another Batman animated series. I just wish they would do it. Like, I would love to see them do like a Batman animated series on DC Universe for like TVMA, where they just say like, fuck it, we are going to tell the most mature adult story involving Batman in Gotham and all that. Just make it like crazy. Just go batshit crazy in storytelling. Like, I would love to see that. I am still to this day waiting for No Man's Land. I think that's why I love Dark Knight Rises, because that was like the closest thing to No Man's Land we will ever get in a live action Batman film. I am waiting for it. I don't want a DC animated universe No Man's Land Batman film. I want the people who did Gotham by Gaslight to make No Man's Land. I want that film. I want a 3-part film. I don't want a 1-part film. I don't want them going Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire on this shit. Which, for those who don't know, if you ever read the Harry Potter, the Goblet of Fire, and you've seen the film, they basically butchered the book. They took a long book and just made it into like a 2-hour film, which didn't even feel like a 2-hour film. They just cut out so much stuff, and it just bugged the fuck out of me. Still to this day, it bugs me how they just butchered that film. That's why I always said, like, I wish they would have, same about Twilight. Yeah, like, I would say this about Twilight. I know a lot of people saw the post I posted about the Dark Knight trilogy, saying how it's the best film of the decade. Then I had the little jab at the end of people who criticized Pattinson playing Batman. It's sort of a trend that they've been doing when they cast people into films. Like when they cast Ben Affleck to play Batman, they brought up Geely. Like they brought up a lot of his bad films he did, like Geely, and I forget other films he did, and stuff. Like, that was Daredevil. And Daredevil wasn't... When you look back at it, it's, really not that bad of a film. And it's kind of funny, though, because Colin Farrell played Bullseye, and now he's playing Penguin. Which is kind of funny. But when you look at, Affleck, his films and stuff, a lot of people kind of forget a lot of movies he did, like Surviving Christmas, for those who've never seen it. Ben Affleck in the film plays this rich dude who adopts James Gandolfini and his family to pose as his family to his, rich, famous fiance and her family. And because Gandolfini and his family lives in the childhood home that he grew up in, where he had a miserable childhood. And it's a pretty funny film, because right in the beginning, right in the film where he goes to his childhood home, he writes a letter that his psychiatrist says, write down all your problems and go to the place where you had all your bad memories from and light the note on fire. And Gandolfini takes a snow shovel and whacks him in the head because he thought the guy was going to set his house on fire. And it's a good film, by the way. I still, to this day, I recommend watching it, because it's a funny, brilliant film. And the other films that Affleck was in was Hollywoodland. In my opinion, his comeback film. In my opinion. It's his comeback film. And he did a brilliant job playing George Reeves. He sounds like George Reeves. He looks like George Reeves. It's pretty creepy, The other film he was in, Jersey Girl. I think it's Kevin Smith's best film that he did. Jersey Girl. Affleck plays a single dad. It's the best film, in my opinion, because Jennifer Lopez dies right at the beginning of it, which I thought was brilliant. So the thing about Pattinson and Twilight, a lot of people bring it up, is I don't know why they bring it up a lot, because here's the thing, those films are made for teenagers. They're made for teenagers. They are a teenage film. But you know who else was in a teenage film that played a brilliant comic book character? Heath Ledger. Ledger was in 10 Things I Hate About You. He did a great job in that film. I actually like that film. But here's the thing, he's an actor. Robert Pattinson's an actor. He was hired to do a film, and he did a film franchise. Do you think he was going to turn down a stupid amount of money to not be in a film franchise? No. He was hired to do a job. He did his job, and, Twilight is not that bad of a film. I think if you got somebody else to play Bella, it would have worked. I'm not saying Kirsten Stewart is a terrible actress, but I think if you got somebody who can work on his caliber, and the thing is, like, in the book, like, I think, if I remember correctly, in the book, Edward has more outgoing personality, more of a personality outgoing. They made him stonish, as weird as that sounds. They made him like a stone figure who didn't emote emotions. That was the problem with it. Like, the characters needed to have more outgoing emotions. Instead of making them like white, stonish characters. That's kind of my opinion of it. But Pattinson, the thing is, they kind of, like, in a way, built him up. Then he became like his own person. He did more indie films. Here's the thing about it. A lot of actors and actresses who appeared in films did teenage films. Scarlett Johansson was in Home Alone 3. You don't see me bringing up that film. That's what it is. A lot of actors and actresses do teenage films. That's how they evolve. Some evolve, some don't. Pattinson was one of the people that evolved into doing better things. Besides Twilight. Twilight's a great film franchise. I have no problem with it. I really don't. Hell, the comic book they did looks really cool. Very anime artwork, So, that was the thing about it. Like, that always bothered me. It's like, anytime they cast somebody to play, characters, they bring up the bad stuff. It's like, for example, they're talking about Shia LaBeouf playing Moon Knight for Marvel. What are you going to do? Bring up the film Holes or Disturbia? Disturbia was a shitty film. If there's any teen film that you need to criticize, Disturbia is one of it. They rip off Alfred Hitchcock's The Rear Window. They MTV'd it in a very bad way. I mean, also, Paul Walker. People love Paul Walker. Paul Walker was in teen films. He was in teen films. Joyride is considered a teen flick. Shia LaBeouf was in teen movies. Transformers I view as a teenage film. So, you really can't criticize that actor for doing a teen film. Just remember, Heath Ledger was in 10 Things I Hate About You, and that is a teenage film. A good one, in fact. So remember that. Next time you criticize Pattinson playing Batman. And the thing about it is, Pattinson is probably going to knock it out of the ballpark, and everybody's going to be like, he's the best Batman. The best Batman ever. Val Kilmer was in teen films. People forgot about that too. Michael Keaton was in comedy films, and everybody got all over him for being cast as Batman. I mean, it got to the point where people were writing letters, petitions, and sending them to Warner Brothers to make the reverse a decision. If that happened, we would have never gotten Michael Keaton's iconic Batman. And here's a fun fact. Michael Keaton is the guy who came up with the term, I'm Batman, in a movie. Originally, John Peters was like, I'm the motherfucking Batman. And Keaton was like, that ain't gonna work. I'm Batman. Keaton came up with that. That's a fun fact for those who don't know. If we would have never gotten Michael Keaton, we would have never gotten I'm Batman. Instead, we would have gotten John Peters' over-the-top exaggeration of I'm the motherfucking Batman. That's what would have happened if people stuck to their guns by sending, if Warner Brothers decided to cave in to people. Here's the thing about it. I'm happy Robert Pattinson's playing Batman. I am. Sometimes you have to go to like the people that you never think of to come up with something great. Ben Affleck, came up with something great. He played the Frank Miller Batman. And that's why I like Affleck as Batman. And I look forward to seeing Pattinson's take on Batman. I hope they come up with something like the cross between Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale's Batman. Because that's what you kind of need. You need something new and something great. And I can't wait to see it. I hope they do Long Halloween or Year One or Hush. Fingers crossed for that one. I read this thing, and we're going to wrap up we're going to go for a little longer on the podcast. Why not? It's been a while. One thing I read, I don't know if this is true. There's been a rumor, like some insiders talking about the Batman film, stating that there's rumors of a scene that Warner Brothers kind of got concerned about for the Batman film. There's been rumors of the possibility of Batman and Catwoman having a sex scene in the Batman film. Which, when I heard that, I was thinking like, okay, why not? So there's been rumors of it. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's true that they're doing it or not. But it made me kind of like go like, are they really going to do that in a film? So it kind of made me like chuckle a bit, like when I heard that. And here's the thing about it. If they do it in the film, alright. I mean, I know a lot of people kind of ask me like if I was like concerned about, what's my thoughts of it? Is it going to be bad? Is it going to be too much in a movie? Here's my thoughts of it. Why not? Why not do something completely insane? I mean, not really insane, but, why not just go over the top and, do it in the film? Why not? It's a movie. I mean, they're basically married now in the comics. Why not? But I think it's gonna be cool. I mean, if they put that in the film, I mean, it's something that they show like, hey, you know what? We're doing this film. It's something that you'll never see in a Batman film. Batman and Catwoman fucking. So, here's another one. Here's another question. Thoughts of Michael B. Jordan playing Superman. How long has this rumor been going around? I mean, here's the thing. I think it's not true. I don't think they're going to cast Michael B. Jordan as Superman. I would say this. I am so tired. I'm gonna put this out there. I know this is gonna be. I know some people are gonna get triggered. Some people are gonna be like, it's too. It's racist to say that. Here's the thing. Why are you giving a African American actor, a black actor, a white character? Why are you changing up the race of one character to reach out to another audience? Here's the thing. DC has black characters in their comics. You have Black Lightning. You have John Stewart Green Lantern. You have Static Shock. If you give Michael B. Jordan Static Shock, people will go crazy for that. People will be like, that is awesome. And people have been asking for a Static Shock movie or TV show for years. Why not give one of the best actors one of the most underrated characters in comics? Why not do it? Why not give Michael B. Jordan that character? He would fit perfectly for Static Shock. Michael B. Jordan has charisma, likability, and he would bring an old character back that a lot of people love in the 90s and the early 2000s. Static Shock animated series was brilliant. It was one of the best WB animated shows ever. Next to Batman the Animated Series, Superman the Animated Series, Justice League Unlimited. I love the moment where they brought Static Shock into Justice League Unlimited. I love that. That was so much fun seeing an older Static, fighting crime still. Why not give Michael B. Jordan that character? I would watch it. I would pay money to go see Static Shock movie. So, they need to, not be like, we're going to let him play Superman. It's like, let him play a character that a lot of people want to see, and that is Static Shock. I would love to see him play Green Lantern John Stewart, because John Stewart is my favorite Green Lantern character. He is. I know a lot of people love Hal Jordan, and, Guy Gardner, and, Kyle Rayner, and Alan Scott, but I like John Stewart Green Lantern. He's a cool character. I know a lot of people are excited for the Greg Berlanti Green Lantern show, but I don't really fucking care for that. I want to see John Stewart Green Lantern on the big screen, not on the TV screen. Enough with that. Let Jordan play Static Shock. I bet if you told him, Static Shock, I bet he'd be like, I want to play that character. And I know a lot of people want to see a black Superman. Good for you, but I'd rather see Static Shock, an actual black character, instead of the ideas of, we're going to do a black Superman. I know black Superman exists in the New 52 and stuff, but I'd rather see Static on the big screen. You have so much potential. Icon could be a great character to see. Black Lightning, why not? You're promoting the shit out of Black Lightning. Why not do a Black Lightning film? Why all of a sudden, we're going to do a Supergirl film? Nobody wants Supergirl. Nobody asked for Supergirl. Did they ask for Batgirl or Nightwing? Yeah, they asked for that. But I don't want to see Supergirl on a big screen because Supergirl is boring. The show is boring. Batwoman is boring. So I'd rather see Static Shock on the big screen. I'd like to see Nightwing someday in the Batman films. I like to see Batgirl on Titans. They could have done that. They could have done that. They mentioned her in the final episode of season 1. And they didn't even bother to be like, is she alive? Yeah. Type of thing. They didn't even bother doing that. They didn't. Titans season 2 was kind of all over the place. You invest in Hawk and Dove, which, by the way, I'm gonna point this out on the Batman Alan Brennett Batman Tales of Batman. Hawk and Dove are on the back of the cover. Holy shit! I did not even realize that. Hold on. This book was $30 original price. I got it for $15. I didn't even realize that, man. I saved a lot of money. Anyway, they got Hawk and Dove in the back of Tales of the Batman, Alan Brennett. You got Hawk and Dove fighting in the back of on the back cover of them, Hawk and Dove fighting, and you have Batman who's like looking angry, like, I'm tired of this shit. It's pretty funny. I gotta take a photo of that. But anyway, so yeah, anyway, I like to see, Static, or Black Lightning, or Icon, or Jon Stewart. Like, I have nothing against Michael B. Jordan playing a superhero, but it's like, why Superman? Why, all of a sudden be like, we're going to make Superman black, he's not white, he's black, and you're taking away the chances and opportunities of a black comic book character in the DC library to be made into film. You have several of them. You have Static, you have Jon Stewart, you have Icon, you have Black Lightning. Several characters. You have to, like, do this. So, anyway, I still like to see Static Shock. I would love to see the writer and director of Hancock do Static Shock. I bet they would do a great job with it. Give Static Shock like this, hero who, has been around. He has problems. He doesn't really give a shit what anybody thinks. Like, I would like to see that, but, nobody in DC's gonna hear my thoughts of it, but that's my thoughts of it. Like, so, anyway. What do you think of Jeffrey Wright playing Gordon? Oh, boy. I think they could have gotten Clive Owen. I know a lot of people kind of got mad that I sort of don't like Jeffrey Wright playing. Yeah, they should. I mean, I'd be like one of those. I'd be like the guy from. I gotta play this clip. Like, if I ever showed up at DC, I hope that people can hear this clip. It's Office Space, one of my comedy films written by Mike Judge, who is the creator of Hank Hill, Boomhauer on King of the Hill. Love that show. I don't know if Disney owns it or not. I really don't know. I don't think Disney owns it. Let me find it. Office Space. I think this is like one thing that Superman fans probably want to say to DC. Hopefully, let me turn up the speakers and stuff, microphone and sources. So we're gonna turn that up. Hopefully, people can hear it. That is one thing I bet a lot of people want to say to DC at times when they do stupid shit, I don't know if anybody heard that, but yeah. The hell's wrong with you people? So anyway, let's see. What is upcoming future episodes and planned for 2020? There's several. I found this, one thing. There's several things I want to talk about. We will talk about comics, of course. We will talk about comic books, comic book films. Still talk about some of the creepy stories and supernatural stuff. That is one thing I kind of want to continue doing. There is some ideas that there is ideas I have that I want to do. Video podcast stuff. I still like to do that, but it probably will happen later down the road. Because I have to rearrange my room. But one thing I want to buy later down the road is a microphone stand, because my microphone stand broke. So now I'm holding a microphone looking like Michael Buffer from boxing and WCW. Talking and stuff. So I mean but yeah, who needs a microphone stand? It's kind of lazy, kind of a cookie cutter type of thing. But anyway, one thing I want to talk about is future episodes talk about K-pop. I don't know what the fuck that is. Apparently it's popular. It's all over everywhere. I don't know why. I'm so tired of... Here's the thing about it. I'm going to save it for future episodes. Anyway, other things I want to talk about is someone who's a listener... Korean pop songs. Oh, yeah, I don't get it. I don't get K-pop. I don't know why the fuck everybody's talking about it. I can't understand what the hell they are saying in songs. I don't know if they're insulting me or saying something nice. I don't know. And I know a lot of people are that's racist to say that, but it's really, do you understand what the fuck they're saying in songs? I really don't. But other things I want to talk about is these stupid animated stories. A listener named Everett, who decided to send it. I think it's his name Everett because he has the photo of Everett from Lego Movie. Which I love Lego Movie, by the way. Who doesn't? I love Lego Batman. And WB better do a Lego Batman 2 movie. I want it. I want it all, and I want it now. That's what I want. I want a Lego Batman movie 2. So, I think that's who it is. Yeah. Anyway, these animated true stories, and I'm using air quote true stories of I made a list of videos I found of these true animated stories. I have nothing against the scary ones, some of the ones that they use in creepypasta or whatever. But these exaggerated animated stories, such as my stepdad got me pregnant, my teacher got me pregnant, I'm pregnant from 4 guys, I did it with my dad, 16 and pregnant, I stay pregnant for, hold on, I stay pregnant for 65 years and hear how it turned out. What the fuck? My twin's boyfriend made me pregnant by mistake. What the fuck? I got pregnant with 9 kids. Here's one. Me and my husband got pregnant at the same time. writes this shit? So I got sent these videos like of how stupid they are, and I replied, yeah, they're pretty stupid. And the next thing you know, the other person who sent me it said, you need to talk about it on your episodes, on your podcasts. So that's what we're doing. We are going to talk about these videos in future episodes. I don't want to. But we're going to, because it caught my attention, and I am going to destroy and review and destroy these videos while watching it. So, to quote Hank Johnson, the congressman that we talked about in one episode, which I had so much fun talking about, these videos are like a sore toe with a shoe too small. I don't know what that means. But these videos are a sore toe, so we are going to talk about it in future episodes. So I'm going to wrap up the podcast. It's good to be back, by the way. I'm happy to be back talking about these stuff. We will do future episodes coming up. I don't know when, but so I know that a lot of people kind of got annoyed and aggravated. I haven't done a podcast. I was going to say video. Since the 27th of December of 2019, and I will say this, I've been taking time off, getting healthy, trying to keto diet, which isn't bad, by the way. I mean, I did find something really cool, which is called caffeine water. Like, they have bottled water with caffeine in it, which I didn't know they had that. So that's been kind of helping me out, because when I slowly started doing detoxing from caffeine and stuff, I got a really bad headache for a couple days. So, I mean, I've been doing great. I've been drinking Fiji water, which, by the way, I'm going to read the back of it. I have to read this real quick. Then I'll say my goodbyes and see you next time type of thing. Natural electrolytes. There's electrolytes enhance water. And there's the smart choice. Get it? Smart water. Fiji water. Not only does Fiji have significantly more electrolytes than other brands, ours are naturally occurring. How? A tropical rain slowly filters through volcano rock. It gathers the electrolytes and minerals that give you Fiji water its signature soft, smooth mouthfeel. How smart is that? Fiji water. I read that. I was like laughing my ass off in the self-checkout when I was reading that. I was thinking like, how bold is that? But also, I've been trying this new stuff called bubbly. So I've been trying the bubbly sparkling water, strawberry bubbly. So a little bit of the bubbly. So I've been trying that. So anyway, so I've been doing great with the keto diet. I know a lot of people ask me, like, when I said that on, trying the keto diet, a lot of people are like, are you sure you're going to be alright? I've been doing great. One thing that's pretty weird though is not eating breakfast. Like, literally, I get up and not eat anything. Like, one day I've been like, I did not eat anything till 12. Yesterday I did not eat anything till like 2 o'clock, and I had Subway, which I kicked myself for it because it's bread. You're not supposed to eat bread, part of the keto diet, but I was fucking hungry. I had like the Italian BMT with like lettuce, tomato, black olives, mayonnaise, pepper jack cheese, because I like spicy things. So yeah, I've been doing great. So anyway, I will be back future episodes later down the road. I don't mean that in a way like I won't be back for a while, but I will be back. So I think the next episode we will be doing will be, I think, either Monday or Tuesday. Because I have a lot of things I have to do. Lifting weights, working out, doing crunches, sit-ups, push-ups, all these things. I've been, working out, trying to get better and better for 2020. So, that's what I've been doing, basically. I mean, I've been reading comics and stuff. I've been going through old comics, new comics, trying to find something to read for, future episodes to read. But once I've been introduced to something that is called True Animated Stories with animated characters that have, eyes that stare at the screen, looking soulless. So, I've been kind of creeped out by that. But anyway, I will be back. Upcoming episodes. I will just remind me, to review Von Freeze comic. It looks really good. I love the cover of it. The cover is very different. But one thing I discovered when I was reading through it, I'm going to talk about this real quick. When I was going through it, they reveal, which is so cool in a way, I want to talk about it, going through it, Victor Freeze, or Victor Von Freeze, depending on who you call him, saved Martha Wayne's life. During when she was giving birth to Bruce. So, Victor Freeze, in a way, delivered Bruce Wayne and saved saved Martha, who was, I think, having breathing problems. So, that's what kind of, made it so cool. I saw that, I was like, that is brilliant. Because it kind of gives a connection to... It kind of gives away, why, Victor and... Victor Freeze and Batman are sort of, in a way, allies. They don't view each other as, villains and stuff. It was really cool when I saw that. I was like, man, that is fucking brilliant. So, alright, I'm going to wrap it up. I got one question that somebody wants to ask me. Who would I want to see play Victor Freeze? Who's the guy who played Magneto in the X-Men films? The X-Men films when they were, younger? Fassbender. Is that his name? Michael Fassbender? I want to see him play Victor Freeze. But at the same time, I want to see, Ben Kingsley play Victor Freeze. So, anyway, those are the two actors I want to see play Freeze. I mean, I would like to see Kingsley play Freeze in Pattinson's Batman. I would love to see Fassbender play Freeze in a solo film like Joker. So that's kind of the two I want to see. So anyway, I'll be back. Upcoming episodes. We will talk about K-pop, I guess. Kind of ruin their day. So, so anyway, I will be back. See y'all soon.